in your life. So, good morning, everyone. So, this is my first time multi-streaming, so do bear with us. Because it's very, very new to me. Oh my god, it's literally put a pinned comment on my StreamYard. So I'm hoping that everybody can't see that publicly because I didn't need that there. Because we're here to talk about Jane today. So over the next few weeks, I'm going to be doing some client interviews because I want to share some real stories and obviously how my clients are doing, and basically educate people about reality of business, which is why I'm streaming everywhere, being brave and pushing it out. And being visible and pushing my clients to be visible as well. I mean, I've got clients that are going to do it that have never been live before, which is really exciting. And today with Jane's, I thought, right, okay, what could be our main topic to talk about? So I instantly thought busy mums, because, well, Jane will explain. She'll know why I've chosen this, and she'll explain it. But basically, one of Jane's biggest challenges has been time, hasn't it, for you with your business and your coaching because of other commitments, which I'll let her tell you about. But before we delve into that, do you want to just introduce yourself, Jane, and tell everybody what you do?
Yeah, so I'm Jane and I'm a parent coach and mentor. So I help parents to understand which behavioural issues with their children. So that could be in any way. So we think that our children are misbehaving, we may then go and reach out for some help, but actually it's not the children that the issue is with, it's usually ourselves. So working on ourselves in different ways, how we talk. But the dog's going mad now because I've got this behind me and he doesn't like it. So it's looking at it holistically, looking at how we are, how we talk, the language that we use, even to the point that do we give ourselves a break and do we give ourselves self-care or take that time out for self-care. So we look at things in different ways to look at how we can change that child's behaviour, and also our own mindset and how we look at things as well.
Yeah, which is, I'm just going to add in as well that I've actually worked with Jane, because it's not a secret that we struggled as parents, especially with Archie, our middle one, who turned 6 yesterday, who's actually done amazing this past year. And a big part of that is because I worked with Jane and we worked on behaviour, we worked on routines, we worked on bedtime. God, we worked on so much, didn't we?
Yeah,
we worked on
it's really, yeah, and we did. That's what it was when you were like, this is what I would like help with, this is what I'd like to change, this is kind of like our end goal. And then we worked back, didn't we, and broke it all down. And some of it was as simple as just changing when you did homework with some of the children and having time on your own with them all each, so they feel valued and listened, and maybe changing morning routines. And so some things are really easy and quick wins, but other things you need to have a look at and may take longer to implement, and even understand yourself and change the bad habits that we get into, because there isn't a manual to parent, and we all parent differently for different factors.
Yeah, even if there was a manual, it wouldn't work anyway, would it? Because of the differences.
No, everyone's so different, so we parent differently because of how we were brought up, or how we don't want to bring our children up. And then our children are all even if you've got more than one, they're all different because you're different when you have those children, and then you change how you parent. And then the world changes constantly. So
And it were really interesting as well, because one thing I learned from Jane was actually when you're trying to navigate like motherhood around business, was that the things that I was doing in my business, like the strategies, the planning, stuff like that, actually works with the kids and family life. And it was just like a massive aha moment. And then, like Jane just said, like, you're a parent and you have children at different times, and you're different at different times in your life, and which has been so key for me. But it's the same with your business as well, I guess, isn't it? Because we all have different things that we're facing at different ages, and loads of different things that affect life and business, and it all kind of comes under, as much as like we try to separate life and business, it all does come under one umbrella, which I guess is the same for a normal working parent anyway who has a job, because I know that it's been hard to navigate being a working mum and being a business mum and being a mum in general. So just talk, like, diving into a bit about what I said at the beginning. So one of your challenges has been being a mum in business and being so busy because you have other commitments. So do you just want to talk about the struggle that you face with that?
Yeah, it got to the point where I was working between 10 and 14 hours. So when you have a business that you really want to grow because you're passionate and you have so many ideas, but that's not always bringing in the income, I looked at how to utilize my other skills, my experiences, all under my consultancy and training business anyway. So my parent coaching is one part of my business, which is the one that I do want to focus on more, because there's so many parents that I want to help out there and really be visible, but having other projects that I've had to do, sometimes they took priority because that was bringing in the income, and transitions. So the transitions that I'm going through, having a now 17-year-old daughter, which is really strange to say, we go through transitions as a parent, and we go through transitions with our children. So even each year, and actually if you break it down, it could be even seasonal. So we just kind of get on with it and we don't think about that. So but we go through so many transitions and we just take it in our stride, but actually looking at how that affects us and how that affects our business or our work or even our children, and you're constantly changing things and looking at how to make it better. So being a parent with my daughter had started to go to work, which I was supporting going to work, like traveling going to work. Luckily it's only 10 minutes up the road, but that took out of my day as well. And then the worries that you still have as a parent, and then I've probably got at least three contracts that ended up being full-time contracts, so trying to juggle those, and then making sure that I was touching on my business and being in business memberships and ensuring that I show up or being around, even social media, to not kind of pull myself back because I haven't got time for that. And it does get really tiring. And when you touched on about how when we're a parent that can affect our business, it totally can, especially if we work from home. We kind of have to put on a front then and a face when we start working and we have calls with our clients, and sometimes you really don't feel like you want to do that. You just want to curl up on the settee and kind of,
when you actually love what you do as well.
Yeah, but even when we love what we do, there will be times when we think, I just can't deal with this today because I've only been up 3 hours, but I feel like I've done a whole day because of the way the children have behaved, maybe the way you've reacted, and then you feel guilty about that afterwards. And, as mums, and there are dads out there that juggle just as much, or they're single parents, but it's usually the mums that have to juggle so many hats. And actually, I went to write in one of the business groups that I'm in yesterday, but then I ended up putting it in my posts and kind of journaling on it. And it was just how I'm struggling to juggle so much, and then having to compromise whether I have my downtime or whether I clean the house, or because I have that much to do when I do have a bit of downtime, you don't fully relax because it's still there in your head, and you think, that you've got to do this, this and this.
Over, don't it? And that's when overwhelm starts to happen. Burnout happens as an impact of that, and it's like a spiral. And then we might have these periods where we're okay, but then I guess we lose good habits, like that choosing between the house and the self-care, which I guess sometimes, like, self-care might be cleaning the house because it clears your mind, but then because you're still doing, it still leads to burnout. And it's a vicious cycle, and it is one to break free. But I think what's become clear is that saying no gives you power, doesn't it? So like Jane has been a one-to-one client and has done the Sustainable Sales Mastermind. And during that time, this was something that came up for you, wasn't it? And during that time as well, we realised that actually saying no to things, like certain things, whether it's commitments to, like you're saying, like you've got business commitments like memberships and trainings and things like that, which always fills your time. Doing stuff like the contracts that you had, you actually made a big decision to let one go, which, like when you were talking then, I was thinking about, like, there's this 50-50, like we do the work that brings the money in, which is like your contracts that you signed up to. We want to push the business, but then when it comes to business, we also need to do the work that brings the money in, which is like the income producing activities, and social media and content is two things in that list of income producing activities that bring the money in. And that's something you actually changed over this period of time, didn't you? You actually focused on that one aspect of business before doing anything else, was the social media and the content, to overcome that of the biggest challenges. Do you feel now that you're a bit more consistent and getting into a place that works well for you with it?
Yeah, not as much as I want to be. And that's again due to time and also planning. So looking at your diary and ensuring that you're planning the task that's going to move your business forward, or not just having it onto your to-do list, because that's one of my downfalls, that I'll have a big to-do list, but then I don't always put some of those in my actual diary where I've got those spaces. So, you fill out your diary, whether you've got network meetings or you've got client one-to-ones or you've got your groups, whatever you've got in your diary that you've got every week, or you've got certain things that are consistent, so you've got those times blocked out. But then sometimes you'll have gaps, and that's where being organised is really good, which you're really good at doing this. I'm taking over your slack now. Where it's about planning your tasks on how you're going to move your business forward, and that time management, organisation, and being really clear on what you want to focus on, and then not focusing on too much, which you do really well at bringing people back at remembering to focus on a few things, or even that one thing that's actually going to work and be manageable for that week.
You started to do that, didn't you? Because like we had one session where you just came up like, right, this is what I've done. She'd gone and got all the dates of everything that she'd committed to and put it in a diary so she knew what. And then you even went as far as, like, which I love this because it's a tip I share all the time, as deciding which days are going to be like where you had your contracts that you were working on, there's kind of that work, and they were long days, and then you had your days where you knew you'd be doing like your social media and your content, and you really started to navigate how it's gonna look, which I always say that's what we need to do. We just need to know where we stand on each day and what's working and what we're doing. And it is.
And I was working all day and every night. It got to the point where I was working Monday to Thursday until at least 10, 11 o'clock. So I was doing at least a 12-hour day, or not, literally back to back non-stop. And now I've tried to change that now. It still hasn't completely come into play, but over the next few weeks I'm looking at having a Wednesday off, or even one evening, doing some self-care on that evening, or even if it's just sitting in front of and watching Netflix, because sometimes that is my downtime. That's sometimes the only way I can actually switch off, and then having so it's just really organising and making sure that you're not putting too much in your diary, and looking at, even reflecting on what's in your diary and is it worth doing that. Because I think as business owners, we fill our diary up, and it's not always with the right things that we fill the diary up. So we're always busy, but then actually dividing it into like that learning and money making activities and
Yeah.
what's actually going to be pushing your business forward. I mean, we can always learn, can't we? There's always something to learn in business, because we're not skilled to do most of the things in business. We're skilled at that one thing to that what we wanted to do our business in the first place.
Yeah, definitely.
So there's always learning, but making sure that there's a balance with that, which I really do get sucked into. That, oh, I'll join this, I'll do this, oh, I'll do that challenge. And even in the last few months, I've literally not joined a challenge, because as much as I've wanted to, one, to support that other business, but two, it's a form of networking. You can get so much out of it just that, other than just doing the challenge. But I've even stopped joining them now, because it's an extra thing to do, an extra thing to put in my diary every day, an extra.
It makes a difference, doesn't it, as well? Because like every year, January would roll around, everybody's doing challenges because it's new year, new girls, all this, and it creates the hype that you feel like you have to jump in. But like I was saying earlier, taking that power of saying, no, I'm not going to do this, and I've banned myself. So I did sign up to 2 this month, but one of them I was an ambassador for, because I am launching and working with this person, and the other one was Denise Suffield Thomas, and I just love her, and I've not done it yet. But I am planning to actually binge like all of her challenge content. And I've even had a look nosy this morning at what she sold, and I'm like, that's an amazing offer, actually. She's combined like 3 of her services in one, and it's like £2,500, which might sound a lot to some people, but for what she's offering, it's just mind-blowing. It's really good. So I done that. But whereas before, even myself, I'd have been signed up to like at one point I probably was signed up to like 10 memberships in a mastermind with my coach, then doing these challenges on top. And she actually said to me, my coach, at one point, she says, I saw you doing this challenge, and then I saw you commenting on this one, and then I saw you doing this one, and this was only a year ago, so it's like quite early. It's not long ago that I was doing it. And she was like, you're everywhere, but how are you managing to get stuff done for your business to move forward if you're everywhere doing everybody else's challenges? And I think sometimes we've got to notice and prioritize what we need to take now, what we need to learn now, and to then move us forward, which is really important. So if you were to give advice on managing, from your experience in managing like business, being a mum, and all that comes with it, what would be the thing that you'd say that everybody should do like now?
Don't get overwhelmed or frustrated at yourself with the time that you've got. So I did speak to a parent last week, and she's like, I've only got 10 hours to do my business. So as long as whatever time you've got, or knowing that you've got that time, plan it smartly.
Yeah.
So make sure that you're doing, what money making activities are, and are you doing that every day?
Yeah.
And then I'm planning for the best. It might be that you're really good at social media and you're caught up, you've even scheduled for the next month or whatever, so focus on something else. So get tasks done that's going to make it easier for you in the long run. So like planning your social media, not leaving it to the next day. If you've got a to-do list, planning those in your diary, whatever that looks like, to do that week. And even if you do tasks and you've only set an hour, be mindful about how long that actually takes. So I know some people do social media in an hour. It takes me a lot longer. So in my head, I'm thinking I'm blocking out that hour, but I know I need more. So I need to start planning more time out in the week or the month.
Yeah.
To do that planning for the social media, for example. So it's just knowing being realistic, time planning, organised, and knowing what you're doing.
Be generous is what I always say. Like, if you give yourself more time than you actually need, it's a bonus when you've like ticked that thing off earlier than planned. And then with it, like, it's the mindset shift as well. Like when you were saying like only having 10 hours for business, I think sometimes we forget that actually if we look at it in a different way and come at it in a different angle, we can think, oh great, I've got 10 hours, right, what can I do with those 10 hours? Well, actually I want half an hour for lunch and a coffee, so I'm going to block that first, and then do the rest of like, right, okay, I've got 9.5 hours now. What else do I need to do? Like, it's looking at what's prioritizing in it, what's essential, and then like in life to get by, and then like your business as well. Like when you
and definitely wins of the week really helped me, because when you're working on your own, as much as I've got a great network of businesses and women that I network with daily, it can be hard being on your own, doing those things on your own, and kind of not always being able to reach out to someone and saying, I'm having a really crap day, or it's been really hard this week. You know, the last week it's the internet's been going off, my camera hasn't worked, I've had to change stuff around. Like, it's been really hard with technology, and I do everything on I need technology because I do everything on it. But then if I look at writing the wins of the week, or even reflecting each day what you've actually done, it gives you a boost of and you don't always focus on the things that are going bad. And it's exactly like parenting, and that's exactly what I tell parents. And when I worked with you, I did relate a lot to business with parenting, to really give you that understanding. So whether you're a parent, whether you're in business, look at what is going well, whether it's that day or that week, and focus on those instead of the things that aren't working.
That's such a good one to mention, because it's something that I do in my sessions. Like, it's something that I did in my previous group coaching, and my client got so used to doing it that at the start of every session in the mastermind, she was like, right, these are my wins of the week, these are my questions, and then like obviously I'd help her with what she needed support with. And I've taken that actually and realized how well it works, and that's going to be the foundation of the mastermind going forward. So every session it's like, right, okay, what are your wins first of all? Because it can be so easy to come into not even just like a group coaching situation, but the starting your day, or ending your week, or going to do the housework and thinking, oh my God, I've got all this to do and I haven't done it, and it just spirals, doesn't it? Whereas instead, if we actually, okay, stop, right, what have we achieved this week? What are the wins? What have we done well? And just reframing that, and like you say, refocusing your energy, I guess, because it does, for me, I feel that shift within inside myself, like from being basically grumpy mum to actually, and proud of myself for what I have done. And so like, and then we have like our focuses for the week, but it does have an impact. So that's a really good one to remind people to do. I do love doing that. So Jenny, Jane, like half my clients, just to say, like their names begin with J, which is
J or Sarah.
Yeah, Jane, Jenny, Janet in one mastermind, all beginning with J's, and then I've got loads of Sarahs, and it's just like, but I was thinking about Jenny then. That's why I said Jenny's name. So I was thinking about the mastermind, like imagining us all together. Jenny and Jane actually are already signed up for the next cohort. What made you come back?
We spoke about this before, and I've always had one-to-ones with you.
Yeah.
And with different other coaches for different areas of business. But then when you get into a group environment, actually it's about, I benefit from both. So I benefit from that one-to-one because I have loads of ideas. I really want that one-to-one support and attention. But then having that group is really good for sharing ideas, even when you support each other. Like some of the comments some of the ladies said, I mean, one lady was like, I couldn't have got through the last few months, you know, without us, because we all supported each other. And that wasn't just business, that was personal and other things that was happening. So how we gelled was really good, how we supported each other. If someone posted something or said something in the group, people would chip in, well, I've done this, have you tried this? And even ideas that other people have had or do in their business. And I've been able to take some of those ideas and actually implement them, whether it's slightly different or, you know, the theme of it, and it will really work well with my clients, even though we've got totally different clientele and businesses. So it brings a lot, really.
It does, doesn't it? Like when
Yeah.
it's funny because when I was originally launching the mastermind, Jenny was like so resistant to the group. Like she's been one to one with me for about a year and a half now. And when she first signed up, she was like, I just can't do like trainings, I can't do group. I need someone to just focus on me because she learns a little bit differently. And she's quite open about that as well, so she'll be okay. And she's going to do an interview, so I'm sure she'll tell you all about that. And she was like so resistant to do group, but she came to me and she was like, actually, I need more of you. She's like,
She loved it, didn't she?
she does, yeah. She's like, I need more of you, Danny. Let's do it. And I was like, okay, like proper didn't expect it. She signed up, she was in, she was dedicated to a business, and she had this shift in, and she's like, now is the time to build a business. And she set a goal of consistent £100 a month, which might not sound a lot to some people, but for where she is, that was a really good goal to have that, to just start with that consistency and starting small. And she absolutely loved it so much that she signed up again. But she loved being around all you ladies, that feedback. And she actually said she learned more from like Jane being coached or someone else being coached than she did from me coaching her, which was so funny. And I'm like, I know, because I've experienced it as well. So it was like, yes, people are seeing actually what this can do.
Because you actually listen to, because we're all on the call and you kind of take turns, you listen to what other people are saying, what they're, where they are at their point in the business, what they need support with, and then kind of those steps or those actions to take. And sometimes when you're talking, you kind of get overwhelmed or you get kind of too stuck in it, and it's a bit of a blur when it's your turn. And so to listen to other people and then kind of reflect about it afterwards, or when you talk to people, you'd be like, oh yeah, I'll do that, or it'll get me thinking of writing other things, or oh yeah, I've got to do this week, or oh yeah, it's reminded me to do this. So it's, you kind of forming a plan or ideas or things while you're talking to the people as well.
Yeah, it's really, I love it. It's just fun. It's interesting and it's so different, which is why I love it and why I'm focusing on it this year. So let's go back to your business. So on this post, I've actually put details of an offer that Jane has, which is her parent group coaching. So do you want to tell people what that entails, like what's included, who it's for, all that good stuff?
Yeah, so it's for parents that want to work on their self. It's for parents that want to have support with their children's behaviour. It's parents that want support and guidance. It's a safe place to come. It's for parents that want anything really. And we have a session every Monday at 8:30 on Zoom at the moment, but I may be changing that. And then we do 2 parent group coaching sessions each month. We have a mini training. They're all recorded, so if you can't make the live sessions, you can always catch up or do it in your own time or a time that suits you. And we also are having our first self-care session. So like we've already spoke about in today's interview, self-care and looking after yourself is really important, and that's for both being a parent or in business. So I thought it would be really nice to do a session where we actually focus on ourselves. So we're not talking about our children, we're not talking about being a parent, but just having that time to spend to do something for ourselves and fill our cups back up. So and we do have different support throughout the month as well. So that's £20 a month. And then if you would like a one-to-one with me as well as the membership, that's £40 a month. And then I've also got some free groups that you can also join for different age groups. So if you've got, it's for parent support, it's to build a community where you can all help each other as parents, share your own experiences, because I'm the expert as a parent and in professionally, because I've got over 20 years experience in childcare and education. But Sometimes I haven't got all the answers, not yet, to be honest, but there will be times where I'm like, oh, I'm not sure how to go about this, or other parents will be like, well, I've tried this, why don't you try that? And oh, I've been through that experience with my older child, or I'm going through this experience. So even though I've got a lot of experience and I'm able to help so many parents, it's also always nice to have that community. So we can put the link, and you put in the links somewhere, aren't you?
They're in this post video, whatever you're viewing from, yeah, they're there.
Yeah.
I'll add them to anyone else that I share this as well, so that people can go check out Jane, so that you can go visit the groups. So if you're parents of teens, you can join that one, or you've got younger children, you've got the other two groups as well. And then details of her coaching, which you can get in touch with Jane to find out about that. What's coming up for you as well? Let's look to the future. What's coming up for you with your business?
Helping more parents, getting more visible. I want to do like expos this year where I can reach more professionals to maybe go into their workplace, so nurseries, schools, and also with my background of being fostered, which most of you probably don't know, it's led me into looking at going into foster carer and adoption coaching and mentoring. So it'll be exactly what I do with parents, but it'll be with foster carers, so they can understand the children that they look after, and realise the issues and the challenges they have and why. And then for adoption parents, it's to support them through their journey of having no children to having maybe 2 to 3 children. And they will have issues because of the bad start in life they've had, and there is very little support. Just like parents, there is very little support out there. So I'm looking into niching into that as well, so becoming very visible this year and helping a lot more people.
I love that. Your energy instantly changed and your passion came through then, which I love. And then I just want to do a little plug for myself. So we've talked about on this interview time management, self-care. We've talked about prioritizing income producing activities. We've covered quite a lot actually. So hopefully you've taken some lessons from this. Do comment below and let us know what you've got out of this, any like aha moments or insights you've got. And so like if you want to save time in your business, in life, so that you can basically be more productive and earn money whilst doing it, then I am doing the Simplicity series on the 30th of January. And it's nice and short, so that you've not got, like a full week's worth of challenge to take part in, because I understand we are busy mums, we are busy business owners. So it is for online business owners. You don't have to be a mum. And it is going to be 3 days, and there will be a task in the morning, which will take you no longer. Basically, you put all the time that you want to into doing the task, and then there will be a live in the evening. So it'll be the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and live will be answering your questions and supporting you directly in your business, so that you can save time and earn more. And we've got 3 topics that we're going to be covering, which is systems. So like systems and strategies for your business, so that you can save time. Procrastination and planning, which is also something me and Jane have talked about today. And then finally, it is going to be strategy. So really dive deep in it. Can't even speak now. Deep diving into sales strategy specifically, so that you can focus on building consistent sales within your business and doing what you love as well. So that's what we're going to be covering over the 3 days. There is £300 of prizes available. So once something completely new that I've never done before, and it's quite exclusive. There's only quite a few women that are going to get access to that. And then there is 3 other amazing prizes as well, all totaling £300. So you've got to be in it to win it. I'm going to try and attempt to drop the link in to the Simplicity series, so that you can sign up. But it is also at the top of my profile. You'll be able to find out my business page, my Instagram, everywhere. The link is everywhere to come and join us and sign up. It's completely free and starts on the 30th. And I'm really excited to help women in business save time and earn more money. Any final thoughts, Jane?
No, jump on, sign up and just do it. Don't even think about it, and then plan it into your diary.
Yes, definitely. Plan it into. I love that one. I actually say that in the welcome email. Right. First of all, put these times and dates in your diary so you know where I am when because even if you can't make it, you could put that in at a time that does suit you. So like, right, okay, I know Danny goes live at 8. I will watch it on replay at 9 or in the morning or whenever you know you can, because these lives they're going to be an hour. Like if you want to work with me, spend an hour with me consecutively for 3 days or whenever you can catch it up, and you will get so much from that. Because like Jane said earlier, when you learn from other people, they have questions that you never thought of, you get ideas, inspiration. You're going to get all of that from the Simplicity series, because you will learn from other people's questions and the answers that I give. So if you want to be part of that and experience that as well for free, then you do need to sign up. And I'll see you all there. And thank you so much, Jane. Please go check her out and have a little nosy at what she does. Have oh God, have a conversation with her as well. Get to network and know her, because
I offer free calls, so contact me. I'm happy to have a chat.
Yeah,
thanks, Danny.
Thanks, Jane. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.